Okay, we're continuing with quotes in alphabetical order from the Holy Grail of Wisdom, quotes by me, Pete Rogers. This right here is Johann Winckelmann from Germany. He is thought to have, in a sense, kick-started the German Renaissance in the late 1700s, early 1800s, the transition from neoclassicism, really neoclassicism phase that later led to Romanticism in Germany. He was like one of the most famous people in all of Germany just because he did a bunch of archaeology, digging up old Greek statues, for example, and he wrote about it, and he said the only way that Germany could become great is if it imitates the ancient Greeks. And that was a big deal because Germany was trying to compete with England and with France, and it saw itself as being far behind. It was separated into a bunch of small city-states, principalities, and it said, here's our strategy. We're going to study everything we can about the ancient Greeks and make paintings like them and statues like them, and then we can become culturally great and brilliant like them. The ancient Greeks have been held up ever since, the beginning with educated people as like the most awesome civilization. Okay, now the real centerpiece of the quotes here. This is part one of wisdom quotes. So Norman Cousins, wisdom consists of anticipation of the consequences. It's like young people are not wise at all. Their frontal lobes are not myelinated, so young guys often do very stupid things. Carl Jung, the doctor is effective only when he himself is affected. Only the wounded physician heals. The pains and burden one bears, eventually overcomes, are the source of great wisdom and healing power for others. Yeah, you know best the disease that you suffered from yourself, and then next in line would be the one that your family members went through and you helped them with it. Nietzsche. The growth of wisdom may be gauged exactly by the diminution of ill temper. Wise people, they can control their emotions. Okay, Victor Davis Hanson, from the book Who Killed Homer, he says, to argue as the evidence overwhelmingly suggests that Greek wisdom ultimately owes little of its core to other Mediterranean cultures now earns scholars the nastiest of labels. Oh yeah, that's the other thing is, the Greeks were magnificent. All the other ancient cultures, they stink in comparison with the Greeks. They stink. They're not in the same ballpark. I studied tons and tons of ancient history. All the other ancient cultures, they suck compared to the ancient Greeks. There's no comparison. Ancient Greeks are the ones who developed the mind, metacognition. Almost all our words about thinking come from the ancient Greeks. Okay, Stoicism, empiricism, Epicureanism, skepticism, cynicism. Those are all Greek words. Okay, next will be Oliver Goldsmith, the Irish playwright. He says, true wisdom consists of tracing effects to their causes. Goethe, wisdom is found only in truth. The hallmark of conventional wisdom is acceptability. It is the approval of those to whom it is addressed. Yeah, that's also why AI is never going to be wise, because it's always going to look for consensus. Consensus is usually a big lie paid for by corporations. Anthony E. Solon, tradition is the distilled wisdom of our ancestors. Yeah, we should give them more credit. Larry Ellison, the only way to get ahead is to find errors in conventional wisdom. Will Durant, science gives us knowledge, but only philosophy can give us wisdom. Alexander Dumas, education does not make one wise. Knowledge only requires memorization. Wisdom requires understanding. Understanding requires philosophy. Okay, Diderot, it is often necessary to give wisdom an air of foolishness to procure its entry. It's a little bit like the Oscar Wilde quote. If you want to correct people, you better make them laugh first or they'll kill you, People don't like being corrected. All right. Charles Dickens, there is a wisdom of the head and a wisdom of the heart. Okay, and that's a little bit like Blaise Pascal. The heart has reasons that the mind knows not. Charles Dickens, a loving heart is the truest wisdom. And I also saw truth in that with my mom and all my Puerto Rican aunts, man. They were so good, so nice. That's a better type of Christianity than intellectual Christianity. Because most people, they're not smart enough to be intellectual Christians. But anybody can be an emotional Christian and live a better life. Cicero, in the common people there is no wisdom, no penetration, no power of judgment. Okay, Noam Chomsky. I try to encourage people to think for themselves, to question standard assumptions. Don't take assumptions for granted. Begin by taking a skeptical attitude towards anything that is conventional wisdom. Make it justify itself. Usually it can't, Be willing to ask questions about what is taken for granted. Try to think things through for yourself. Okay, that's wisdom quotes for today. Hope you found it helpful.